In a quiet suburban neighborhood, a group of friends gathered at Emily's house for a sleepover. As the night grew darker, they decided to share ghost stories to add a thrill to their evening. Emily mentioned that she had inherited a doll from her late grandmother. A doll with a mysterious history. As they gathered around the dimly lit room, Emily brought out the doll. Its eyes seemed to follow their every move, and an eerie silence fell over the group. Ignoring the uneasiness, they began telling their stories, but soon, strange occurrences disrupted their fun. Objects started moving on their own, and whispers echoed through the halls. Emily's dog, usually calm and friendly, began growling and barking at the doll. The friends exchanged nervous glances, realizing that something was terribly wrong. As the night progressed, their fear intensified. They heard footsteps when no one was there, and the temperature dropped dramatically. The doll seemed to emanate an unsettling energy, and they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Terrified, the friends decided to take action. They researched the doll's history and discovered that it was rumored to be possessed by the spirit of a vengeful young girl. Determined to break the curse, they performed a ritual to cleanse the doll, pleading for the spirit to find peace. As they finished the ritual, a chilling silence descended upon the room. The doll's eyes lost their malevolent glint, and the air felt lighter. The friends breathed a sigh of relief, hopeful that they had succeeded in banishing the spirit. Years later, they still recall that night as a bone-chilling experience. The doll now rests in a sealed box, a reminder of the haunting they faced and the power of the supernatural. Deep in the heart of a dense forest, an old cabin stood, weathered and worn. A group of friends sought a thrilling adventure, deciding to spend a night in the isolated cabin. They packed their sleeping bags, flashlights, and enough courage to face the unknown. As night fell, they settled into the cabin, sharing laughter and ghost stories. But as the stories grew darker, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Shadows danced outside the cabin's windows, and an eerie silence permeated the air. Their nerves on edge. They heard footsteps in the hallway, even though they were the only ones present. Doors creaked open, and a cold breeze swept through the cabin, chilling them to the bone. Fear gripped their hearts as they realized they were not alone. Whispers echoed through the cabin, their voices barely audible. Panic set in as they tried to rationalize the unexplainable. They questioned each other, wondering if their imagination was playing tricks or if something truly supernatural was occurring. Suddenly, a presence filled the room. And a gust of wind blew out their flashlights, plunging them into darkness. Their screams pierced the night as they huddled together, desperately seeking comfort and safety. Summoning their courage, they decided to confront the entity haunting the cabin. Armed with flashlights and trembling hands, they ventured into the hallway, their hearts pounding in their chests. In one room, they discovered an old photograph of a family, their faces etched with sadness and longing. They realized the cabin held the spirit of a former resident. A soul trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. With empathy and understanding, they pleaded for the spirit to find peace, acknowledging the pain it must have endured. As they did so, a sense of calm washed over them, and the cabin fell silent. The friends left the cabin forever changed, carrying the memory of that fateful night. They learned that sometimes, confronting our deepest fears can lead to unexpected resolutions, even in the face of the supernatural. Nestled on the outskirts of town, an abandoned house loomed in the moonlight. Rumors swirled about its dark past, tales of tragedy and a curse that plagued anyone who dared to enter. Curiosity got the best of a group of friends, and they decided to spend a sleepover exploring the house. As they approached the dilapidated structure, a sense of foreboding filled the air. The front door creaked open, beckoning them inside with an eerie invitation. Hesitant but intrigued, they stepped into the darkness, their flashlights illuminating the dust-filled rooms. As they explored, they felt an overwhelming heaviness, as if the house itself held their every step. The temperature dropped, and whispers echoed through the corridors. Each room seemed to hold a secret, a piece of the tragic puzzle that had cursed the house. Suddenly, I apologize. But it seems that my response was cut off. Here's the continuation of the third story. Suddenly, they heard a blood-curdling scream, followed by a deafening silence. Panic consumed them as they realized one of their friends was missing. Frantically, they searched the house, calling out her name, but she was nowhere to be found. Fear settled in, and they contemplated leaving the house immediately. But their loyalty to their missing friend compelled them to continue the search. With trembling hands and racing hearts, they descended into the basement, the darkest and most foreboding part of the house. In the dim light, they discovered a hidden chamber, adorned with cryptic symbols and remnants of occult rituals. The curse that had plagued the house for generations was now laid bare before them. They understood that their friend had fallen victim to the malevolent force that resided within. Desperate to break the curse and save their friend, they embarked on a treacherous journey. Armed with their knowledge of the occult, they performed a ritual to banish the curse, their voices trembling as they chanted ancient incantations. As they completed the ritual, the house shook violently, and a blinding light filled the chamber. When the light subsided, their missing friend stood before them, dazed but unharmed. The curse had been broken, and the house released its hold on them. They fled the abandoned house, gasping for breath, but relieved to have escaped its clutches. The memory of that night remained etched in their minds, a testament to the power of curses and the strength of friendship in the face of unspeakable horrors.